So then you've got two lots of light infantry, which are Arab hillmen. I've got something about them on here. It says here that, where were they? That they're impetuous.
The Arab hillmen are placed on the Seleucids' far left flank.
Antiochus has deployed in an utterly professional manner. He has deployed the same as every other post-Alexander commander would. Antiochus has deployed his phalanx in the center, his infantry in the center. His most dependable, strongest infantry will be on the outside of that center block. Outside of them will be some lighter troops who are able to screen the flanks of that big phalanx in the middle. The cavalry, which under Alexander was the main striking arm of the army, it's no longer as important, but it's still in the most important place. The cavalry is out on the flanks of the Seleucid army.
These guys are starting to move.
Raji has not been careful and has sent his scouts too close to enemy lines. The Seleucid archers respond.
Their guys are starting to move towards the,
they're being fired on, aren't you?
Shooting our scouts.
We haven't started, have we?
No.
What was like that, Kate? They've fired on our scouts.
Fired on.
This surprise attack on the celebrities' scouts has caused confusion within the team. This reaction to their first encounter with the enemy does not bode well for the battle ahead.
Why did our scouts go off?
Because they were being fired
scouting,
on.
And they got too close and got fired on.
So we've lost 3 or so. How many? 3.
Right. Well, what we learned there is we don't want to go near those blooming archers.
I didn't think the scouts had even started moving.
No, that happens to me.
You're a general, Kate.
Yeah.
Can they still see what's going on?
It's not very good generaling, is it?
Well, it's not a great start.
Although the team have lost 3 scouts, what is of more concern is that Kate, a general, was completely unaware that the scouts were even deployed.
I think at that point, the EastEnders came off worse against the Archers. They lost their scouting party, and I think they've learned a lesson there.
All right, come back to your positions. OK, 217 BC, the Battle of Raphia. You are the Egyptians against the Seleucids. So what are you going to do next?
What it looks like to me, the way they're set up, is they've got their flanks controlled, haven't they? Because they've got cavalry and archers. Yeah. They've got fluid flanks covered because that's the weakness of the heavy infantry. They've got it looks like what they want to do is come down and just grind us and envelop us. And the way we're set up at the moment is ideal for them to do that.
Al appears to have a good understanding of the enemy's battle plan. But how will the team deploy their troops to counter it?
I'd be inclined to move our heavy infantry on a front line and set up a similar formation to them. But I definitely think if the elephants are going to be effective for us, then we should, I don't know whether you agree with this or not, but the elephants should go full on to the javelins and the archers and just...
Well, elephants are going to be good against cavalry, huh?
Our elephants aren't as strong as their elephants. The threats as they present themselves are their elephants, right? And I would have thought they're archers.
One of the real challenges for the team is how they deploy their elephants, because in one sense they already know, they've grasped the point that they're inferior, they're smaller beasts than the Seleucid war elephants, and if they're not careful, if they put their elephants, the Egyptian ones, in the wrong place of the line and they get defeated, nothing is more demoralising than having stampeding elephants coming back crashing through your own lines.
What's your starting position going to be? I mean, you're not going to start from here, are you?
No.
So can you show me where you might think about starting? Just line it up for me.
My feeling is that if you do this, your flanks are covered.
That's a good plan.
And we're a thing for them to break themselves on.
Yeah.
If they're going to attack, that looks to me like...
But by attempting to protect the flanks of his whole army, Al has unwittingly exposed the flanks of each individual unit.
But you see that big bow in that deployment? You see how the team has given themselves this big fat belly sticking out towards the Seleucids? That is very dangerous. These phalanx formations, when you stick them together, you can even see it on the board. You see the way that between the blocks there are wedge-shaped gaps.
It's certainly true if you can open a flank on one of those gaps. he's in trouble.
That's right.
And his flank will be hanging in the air.
That's the other thing, because this is a defensive setup.
Yeah.
So that's us waiting for them to
Well,
attack.
I think
but
that
if you want to
rolls
be
slowly.
punching,
I think we roll slowly up the hill with that to the point where the archers can engage the elephants. If they can't, then these guys are more likely to be able to deal with them.
I think in a lot of these situations, I would urge the commanders to be aggressive and bold and to go forward. But in this one, I think you can argue that there's some value in letting the other guy make the first move and then responding. Now, that might be the time for aggression on the part of the Egyptian army.
We need to consider how we deal with them and what that plan will be. So we need to neutralise the elephants. We know they're impetuous, so they might run off if charged down by elephants.
Yeah.
That's if the elephants get close enough, what with the archers. So we probably want to bash through there.
Why do we need to go to them? Why do we need to go to them? Because why not stay out of their range?
Well, because we want to keep them... Well, all right, what we want to do...
Why not be
what I would
defensive? This
do-
is what we're defending
what I
here.
would do
We don't need to attack
is
on
with
this
these
side.
elephants, is punch through there, and then they come back round here where these guys
That's
are
if you can
vulnerable.
get them to run back again.
That's if you
Elephants
can-
are good
yeah.
for short, sharp shock, and I just wonder
Yeah.
why we've got such a heavy
if you-
cavalry there.
Al seems to have an impressive grasp of the finer details of the battle he wants to fight. Although alarmingly, the two generals appear to have come unstuck on the bigger issue of whether to defend or attack.
So the strategy at the moment then, just to get that clear, is you're saying send the elephants in, they fire.
We try to shatter their right flank, and at the same time we try to their left flank, and at the same time we try to overwhelm their right flank with a major complete cavalry and light infantry thing.
As far as I can see, they've got the essentials of infantry in the middle, cavalry and elephants on the flanks, but they haven't yet decided how they're going to employ their army once the battle is really joined.
For now, Al appears to win a concession from Kate over his battle plan. But will they be able to agree on how to deploy the generals on the field?
Why not have the morale people here and the general further up?
but they're the same people.
Well,
You've got two then.
No, you've got two.
I've got some.
You've got some of them.
if he's good for morale, they all need to know he's still alive and but also know he's not afraid to
Have
get
some.
stuck in. So
But these guys are descendants from Alexander, who was a really good leader, and he always used to go into battle, and he always was at the front.
With only seconds to go before this battle begins, the team seem unable to resolve this latest conflict.
Well,
Okay.
We split them up.
You've had enough time.
Oh,
We've got
my
your
Lord.
plan. The moment is almost here.
In moments, two heirs of Alexander the Great, Antiochus of the Seleucids in the east and Ptolemy of Egypt, will battle it out for the control of the border that separates their rival kingdoms. Taking command of the Egyptian army at the Battle of Raphia are four TV personalities. Their objective? To take hold of the lucrative disputed territories and to be one step closer to rebuilding the empire of their glorious ancestors. But will Al and Kate, the generals, finally agree on a consistent plan? Or will the bigger battle take place in the command center rather than on the field itself? With both armies so evenly matched, this battle is all about who will seize the initiative. The generals are planning to concentrate their elephants en masse on the right flank, to punch through the Seleucid phalanx troops. This will allow their cavalry to sneak around the right flank and hit the enemy's strongest phalanx unit from behind. Meanwhile, in this contest of like versus like, have the generals given enough thought to their troops in the center of the field? The planning is over. It's now time for the team to deploy their troops. Unfortunately, the two lieutenants, Ricky and Raji, have been left on their own to get on with it, while Al tries to convince Kate that his battle plan will work.
if what we do is leave the centre of the battlefield alone, essentially, and try and take the initiative on the flanks,
Right.
then hopefully we'll bust them into 3 bits and be able to...
If we're not already knackered by then.
See, I think the team wants to fight 3 battles at the same time. They want to fight a battle on their right, a battle on the left, and a battle in the center. They want to fight 3 battles. They've not really decided which of those 3 battles is their main effort. That means that as this fight develops, they will not know where to concentrate their combat power.